Best Interest of the Child Factors, Florida edition. The purpose of this series is to show how I personally built a bulletproof custody case in 2015-16 versus my ex-girlfriend involving our 2-year-old son at the time. It's my hope with me pulling back the curtains and being transparent about how I did things to solidify a 50-50 week-to-week timeshare encourages all fathers in knowing how to crush the best interest of the child factors. Let's get into it. Appendix C. The demonstrated capacity and disposition of each parent to determine, consider, and act upon the needs of the child as opposed to the needs or desires of the parents. This factor favors the father. The father recently purchased the mother another car seat because she frequently forgets to give it to daughter. Mother forgot his medication, so father brought it to her and administered it to him for scalp issues. Father also left work to go to daycare to administer the medication to son. Father cut child's hair because of ringworm. Mother canceled doctor appointment for October 6th. Told father the doctor's office needed to change it due to the hurricane. The child was out of medication. This is for the scalp ringworm. Had no medication for the week. Okay, as you can see from Appendix C, it speaks on demonstrated capacity and disposition. Basically, it's requesting that the parents put the needs of the child before their own personal needs. It says the demonstrated capacity, as in demonstrated, as in past tense, not is going to demonstrate. So we have to, as fathers, we have to show that we have already adhered to these factors. So that's what it's about, building a case. So you can say, check mark, check mark. Okay, I have these 2 or 3 things that were happening that I can show that happened irrefutably, that shows that I'm crushing this actual factor, okay? That you are in the business of making sure you put the child's needs before your needs. Okay, so me and my legal team decided, based off the information, the black and white, the irrefutable evidence that I had involving text messages and pictures and everything else, as we'll see, that I put the needs of our son over my own interests and desires, okay? So, factor favors the father. The father recently purchased the mother another car seat. There were issues between my son's mother and my ex's oldest daughter that was 17, 18 at the time. So they would exchange the car seat from car to car. Mind you, there were issues with, with my ex actually giving off a lot of her responsibility to her daughter. At the end of the day, I wasn't choosing to do that, but that's what she decided to do. So these things kind of worked in my favor because I didn't do that at all. So, but there was an issue from when I heard that he has got transferred without a car seat one time, but I wasn't sure because I didn't see it. So the daughter brought our son to me again the next time, or following time, and I got out of the vehicle. It was kind of like around the corner from my home, and I got out to retrieve him from her back seat, and he was in the car without a car seat. He had a seatbelt on, yes, but he didn't have a car seat on. And he was 2 years old, so that's problematic. So I noticed that, and I spoke to her about it, in a passive but kind of, easy type of way. And I was like, hey, make sure you don't get caught, get pulled over like this or whatever. It's going to be a problem. She's like, oh, I know. My mom had forgot to give me the car seat before she left to go to work or wherever she went. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, understanding I was in the business of building a case. There were 2 things I immediately thought that I was going to do. Well, the first one was I was going to, like I did on the last video, I sent a text to the daughter probably about, 5-10 minutes afterwards. And I said, hey, again, just make sure you're careful because I don't want you to get pulled over. You're too young to have a ticket, especially if something so crazy as not having my son a car seat. So help your mom remember next time. She's like, okay, I will. You're right. I don't want any problems or something like that. Screenshot. That's confirming she transferred him to me without a car seat. Okay? I don't need to go in the courtroom, just like you guys don't need to go in the courtroom, throwing allegations around. No, have irrefutable proof. So that's what I had as proof that because she was passing off her parental responsibilities and it put our son at a disadvantaged situation, So that helped me a lot right there. Now, let's move on a little bit further. I didn't want my son to have this situation again. So not only because I did it because it was out of goodness of my heart, I also knew that, hey, I'm going to make this work for me. So I went to Walmart and I bought another car seat. Nice price. I think it was about $79. Somewhere between $70 and $80 or something like that. Bought another car seat. And of course, took a picture of the car seat, took a picture of the receipt, and I took that to the daughter and gave it to the daughter so she could put it in her car so they don't have to transfer car seats anymore. I didn't have to spend my bread. I didn't have to spend my money. Now, see, that's where it comes. That's why I talk about people just holding their money so close to their chest. No, spend that money. It's for a good cause. It'll shake out in the end. So a lot of people a lot of men will be like, oh, I ain't spending that. That's your responsibility. No. It can be it's your responsibility if it's your kid. Do what's in the best interest of your child, and you're likely to get rewarded. Okay? So how was the court gonna knock me when I showed, hey, not only that she put her side, her handing off her responsibilities, had our son riding around without a car seat because she forgot to transfer. But not only that, I took the corrective measures to go and get another car seat so it can alleviate that problem and never happen again. Double, triple check marks for me, and that's how you freaking get it done. Take a picture of the receipt, take a picture of you holding the freaking car seat in the box, and let's get to it. So we're going to continue after that. We're going to see something about the medications on number 3. Mother forgot the medication. So there's a point where mother forgot the medication. So I actually, number three and actually 4 of them kind of work together. Same occurrence. Where I got off work and went to go pick up the medication because the medication wasn't transferred to daycare because it was my day to pick up our son. So I got off work, went and picked up the medication because he had a scalp issue and when it got the ointment and then took it up to daycare and administered to him and then went back to work. See that? That's putting the child's needs over my own needs. Yes, I was inconvenienced, but I put my child's needs over everything else. Now, was it the end of the world? Absolutely not. Could he have waited till after school, after daycare? Sure. But the ointment was supposed to be applied X amount of times per day. So that's what I prioritized. Okay? So also, I had that on record. I had a text message saying, hey, I went and picked up the medication, blah, 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 and I took you, so he got it, this and that. And she said, okay, which confirms what happened. Like a lot of this stuff, she probably may not have known that I was building a case, but that's exactly what I was doing. But also, I didn't do it because I was simply building a case. I was doing it because it was in me to do. All right? Also, my son, he was younger, so he had some plaits in his head. Here's going to move to number 5. He had some little plaits in his head, little kids that, our ethnicity, we have little plaits in our head when you're that young. Mother puts plaits in the head. Well, because he had a ringworm, it was time to cut his hair. And I didn't want to cut his hair. I'm sure he probably didn't want his hair cut or his mom, but he had to get a haircut so he could access and get down to the scalp. So I actually cut his hair and I gave his first haircut, and that's pretty cool. I got pictures of it. For our own thing. I didn't necessarily do that for your case or anything, but it's kind of a memorable moment. So also, let's go to number 6. Mother, so down here in Florida, we get hurricanes and stuff, right? We love some hurricanes here. Mother canceled a doctor's appointment prior to on October 26th and told me that the doctor's office called and canceled it. Well, when I got in touch with the doctor's office told me that she had called and canceled it. So she tried to blame it on the doctor's office calling cancel, which is why he why he couldn't have his appointment and he could get medication so he could have, through the hurricane because he had ran out. But come to find out, she canceled that on her own. So they told me about it once I researched, and they wrote a letter for me stating that mother called and canceled the appointment, which would totally go against her argument saying that they called to cancel it. So that was more proof that I had that, hey, not only am I in the business of putting our child's interest above my needs, but because she canceled the appointment on her own, she didn't put our child above her own needs. She put her convenience over the child's needs, and that was going to be a strike against her. All right? That's why this factor favored the father. She didn't have these type of things against me. It just wasn't going to happen. As you can see, I was very meticulous and made sure I dotted my I's and crossed my T's. Gentlemen, this is how you build a case. Demonstrate the capacity and disposition of each parent to determine, consider, and act upon the needs of the child opposed to the needs and desires of the other parents. That's how you make it happen. Black and white, text messages, official letters from organizations. You don't have to go in there accusing or alleging a thing. Guys, I hope you're getting something out of this series. I'm enjoying doing it. I can't wait till my next one. Again, I'm just picking up the paperwork that I still had had around my place to where I'm just showing you what I worked off of and how I built the case, and to be able to maintain a 50-50 week on, week off timeshare with my now 9-year-old son. Do I have any problems with my ex? No. Do I have any problems with my ex-wife? No. You want to know why? Because they don't have an advantage over me as far as controlling time with our son. That's right. If you don't give them the advantage, they can't take advantage of nothing. All right? So we can reverse what's happened already. We can reverse it. But we got to be diligent, and we have to start building a case. All right? Remember when I talked about going out? I made a YouTube short and actually made a video about going out and doing the field day. Going out and doing the field day and volunteering for the field day. These are the type of things that you need to do to go above and beyond for a judge to be like, this father needs to be in this child's life or children's life more than what he's already doing. So if you put the work in, you can get what you need to get. You can get what you deserve. But we're not women. We're men. We have to work for things. Some things, unfortunately, we have to work for that we shouldn't have to work for, but we aren't women. Women get back and they get provided for. That's not what we are. So if you want it bad enough, let's go out and get it. If you have any questions, hit me up. Jump in the comments. Let me know if you're getting anything out of this series. If this is your first time, feel free to press like on the video and subscribe to the community. We love to have you. Things are going to get bigger. I got a lot more stuff to do, say, produce. It's going to be an awesome platform and community before it's all done over. I appreciate you guys. See you on the next episode, Flawless Fatherhood.